Welcome everyone, thanks for joining me. Before I adjust anything, I thought I would go over the tuning check on this beautiful Martin D18. The customer's concern was twofold. The guitar was extremely difficult to play and it just would not play in tune. So let's start with our tuning check, which you've seen me do many times before in other videos. But I wanted you to see what we have right now before I do any adjustments or calibration. Let's get started. Open E and 12th fret. Okay, it is 14 cents sharp. Now when we play the 7th fret note B, it is 15 cents sharp. When I play the octave B on the 19th fret, it's right off the chart. I don't know what it is. 26 cents sharp. Okay, A string. Octave on the 12th fret. 8 cents sharp. The E note on the 7th fret. Oh, that one's in tune. And its octave, 14 cents sharp. The D string. And its octave, 8 cents sharp. The A note on the 7th fret of the D string. Yeah, that's about 8 cents sharp. And its octave, about 7 cents sharp. 3rd string or G string. Its octave, 6 cents sharp. The D note on the 7th fret of the G string, 5 cents sharp, and its octave, 4 cents sharp. The B or 2nd string, and its octave, 10 cents sharp. The 7th fret note F sharp, 8 cents sharp, and its octave, 9 cents sharp. So open 1st string and its octave on the 12th fret, 5 cents sharp. The B note on the 7th fret of that 1st string, 4 cents sharp, and its octave. Oh, that one's actually in tune. Alright, we're going to go back now to the open string and the 1st fret fretted note on each of the 6 strings. So starting with a low E and the note F on the 1st fret. It's like 20 cents sharp. Okay, there's our A string and its 1st fret. Okay, that's 8 cents sharp. The D and its 1st fret. Yeah, 7/8 cents sharp. The G string. It's about 7 cents sharp. The B and its 1st fret note C, 8 cents sharp. 1st string and its F 1st fret note, 8 cents sharp. Now in a perfect world, when I lay that straight edge along the frets and I slide it up to the bridge, that straight edge should just breeze the top of the bridge, but it's not. It's touching lower than that surface. Like I said, in a perfect world, that should actually just breeze the top of the bridge, but it's not quite there. We're not looking at a neck reset yet, and we shouldn't be. It's a brand new guitar, because we have enough room on the saddle to sort of bring the action down to where it should be. Now when we take a look at the action at the top of the fingerboard here, the distance from the crown of the fret, top of the crown, to the underside of the string on the 6th string is just shy of 1/4 of an inch. Or for the millimeter crowd, it is 6 millimeters, this distance here. This is definitely part of the tuning instability. On this side, it is still 3/16 of an inch, which is way too high. I did discuss with the customer his style of playing. He plays essentially fingerstyle guitar. So these are 13 to 56. And I'm not saying it's impossible to play fingerstyle with 13 to 56, but it's a lot easier with a lighter string. I do like to see the saddle tighter than that, and it's not typical of Martin. Usually they have a much better fit than that. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to put a slight ramp at the leading edge of those bridge pin holes to increase that downward tension at the focal point on the saddle all the way across. We're going to be dropping this saddle down. You want to try and avoid any deflection on the edge of the hole as the string passes from the bridge pin hole to its focal point on the saddle. So we're going to start there. So this is how I grip the Dremel tool as I make this cut. Now the next thing I like to do is to get a tracing off of the last fret so that we get a nice accurate match of the fingerboard radius to the radius on the saddle in the bridge. Now this is the drill press conversion kit disc sander that I designed. We manufacture in small quantities for you guys, right, in small batches of about 20. I've got both hands on this piece. I'm not reaching for a switch to turn it on and off. It is a momentary foot switch. Now because this is a 9-inch disc, I can cut as small as a 4.5-inch radius, which is smaller than any fingerboard. So in other words, you're good to go for any guitar. We'll get into this later in many other operations, but this is by far the most used sander in my shop. Now to give me a good idea of where I want the action to sort of end up, initially I'm just kind of eyeing that distance here, and I know now how far down to mark for the bass side. Same thing on the treble side, slide up to the bridge. I'm sighting this distance along here. This is our very first sort of check, and then I'm marking the saddle. The gears were grinding a bit, so I put a bit of lithium grease in there to loosen them up. Well, we now have the string spacing exactly where we want it. This is our first attempt, and this is what we ended up with. The D is perfect, the high E is fine, these ones all need to be adjusted. So now we have arrived. The string spacing is perfect, the open string and fretted first note, and you're going to see that, I'll show you when I'm all done. The 7th fret and 19th fret, this guitar is completely calibrated. So now and only now do I cut back the nut for its final width. You always want to have that forgiveness to be able to shift just a few thou one way or the other. So mark that with a very sharp pencil. Here we go, mission completed. It's 11 to 52 at concert pitch. Frets have been polished. The action has been dropped way down. There is our cantilevered compensated bridge saddle. There is the action and the lay of the neck on the bass side. And there's the action on the treble side. Alright, we are going to readdress this tuning test.